right. Hmm. If you're waiting in the other room, I don't know what happened with the stream. It jumped. Anyways, there we go. I think we got it. Maybe. Camera angle's a little funky, but yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Resolution's a little weird too. Oh well, we're gonna make do. As long as everybody can hear me. I guess if I put my mic on, it might help a little bit. Just a little bit. Is that better? Hope the audio is working now. I've been testing for like an hour and it's been hit or miss. Camera angle's been messed up, batteries have been dying, all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody just hanging out? Is there any games to watch tonight? I don't even know. Haven't even looked. Let's get into some whiskey. Is anybody even here? Am I talking to myself? Well, I swear I haven't already had something to drink, but it's not looking good. Good old Blanton's, just straight Blanton's. I think we may stand for a little while. Ooh, that's nice. Nice little caramel note. A little bit of rye. A little bit of rye spice. Not bad. It's kind of blocking bottles, isn't it? We'll just set that down. Out of the way. I'll probably start kicking it or something. Hopefully the camera angle's still good. Doesn't cut my head off. Looks like it's fine. Good old Blanton's Rickhouse H. This one's Rick number 11. Anybody know if that's low? I've been told that the numbers are the height in the rick house, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. If they go north or south, or if they go, 11. Because I've got one. My next one, my only other backup, I think was Rick 109. So I've been told that that's a high Rick, and then the higher the number, sometimes the more flavor, kind of like a Coy Hill versus whatever versus a non-Coy Hill. Higher on the hill, higher on the rick house. I don't know. Anybody know? Let me know. I still don't know if I have audio. Mm. I do. I just heard it. I got whiskey all over the bar. That's what the bar mat's for, there, right? Anybody still hunting this bottle? Like legitimately unable to find it, or willing to pay crazy sums of money for it? Or is everybody kind of over it? I'm kind of over it myself. I need to figure out, of course, there's a lot I need to figure out. I was just watching Doc on his stream, and like he plays games and all kinds of stuff. I need to upgrade my systems and do some fun stuff like that. He plays like bottle giveaways with horse races, things like that, sample giveaways. I live in a state where you can't ship liquor, so a lot of these channels send out samples and giveaways and things like that. So that's something I kind of have to figure out. There's ways around it, I'm sure. I've been told of a few ways around it. I may have messed everybody up by having that other post. Because for some reason, I'm trying to make sure. Okay. I'm still not sure how that works. Like the thumbnail I posted is still there and says I'm live, but it says upcoming, and then there's the actual live screen. So much stuff to learn. We'll get there. So like if I click on the one that's waiting, it says there's one person waiting. I'm just going to delete this one because can I delete it? I just want to like get rid of it. I don't want it on my channel. How do I get rid of it? Maybe I can't. This is some engaging live streaming, I tell you what. I just want to kill the video. Oh, let me try this. I know, you guys just bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this figured out. Screen still looks a little weird. Come on in. We trying everything we can to fix this. Good Lord, that was bright. Can I delete this? I just want to delete this. Delete. There we go. I understand. Delete. Scublam. It's gone. Now I can relax. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's everybody sipping on tonight? Come on, let me know where y'all from, what you're sipping on. Is it cold where you are? Because it's not where I am. It's like 65 degrees outside if I had to take a guess. I could literally just go outside in shorts and barefooted right now. But it's supposed to get cold Sunday after it rains. Like Monday's supposed to be like 18 degrees, which for down here is freaking cold. I probably should pick a better night to possibly live stream if I'm going to. I think my cat just came in. Maybe. I'm going to raise this desk up just a hair. Wouldn't mind watching some football right now. Obviously, my team didn't make it in. I don't think we won more than 4 or 5 games this season, and those were towards the later part of the season. Been a rough one. Been a rough one. All right. Is the chat live? Okay. Let me check the audio again because for some reason I'm not seeing it. Testing. 1, 2, testing. Testing. Oh, okay. There it is. It's all right. I'll lock my own video. I got an interesting bottle we're going to look at later. Pulled up some facts on it. It's very strange bottle. Not exactly sure why it exists, but we'll get to that. All right, all right, all right. Good old Blanton's. This is actually my first bottle of Blanton's. Getting into whiskey a couple years ago. That's how long it's taken me to drink this bottle. Almost 2 years. Um, good stuff. I don't think it's worth the price, especially the price now. I think the cheapest I find it in my area when I do find it, which is not often, because it's still allocated here. It's still $90, 90 or $100. Some places still have it for 200. I was upset when I bought this for 130 back at the height of the boom. And $60, okay. You know, it's a nice looking bottle, and the juice is really good. It's not $100 juice. So ooh, I just thought about something. Something I can do later the next time all this gets set up that I didn't think about till just now. But we'll get to that. So I like this little glass. It's very whimsical. I don't know what it's for. I think it's like for a brandy glass for you to cup the glass and kind of warm it with your hand. But I love shopping at Goodwill and just finding random glasses for like $2. So that's where this came from. And my infinity glass that I probably should keep out here. Keep it over here. So anything I don't finish goes in an infinity glass. At the end of this, I'll drink that. But I typically don't have a lot of stuff left over. So we're going to go through some more bottles. Bardstown Origin High Wheat. Really great bottle, especially for around 40, 45 bucks. It's about 45, 50 here in my market in South Mississippi. Just solid. There's a nice cereal grain note on this. So if you're comparing it to Weller 107, Weller's more fruity. This is isn't this a 4 grain? No, it's a 3 grain. Okay. But it's, yeah, 53% corn, 39% wheat, and 8% malted barley. 6 years old. So, I mean, it's roughly some of the same characteristics of Weller 107. Of course, Weller, I think, has a lower wheat content and barley too. But they're both about 6 years roughly. Weller 107 is not age stated. So, but they're comparable. They're not the same, but they're comparable. Kind of glad to get rid of some of these. I love the stopper to this, and I'm so glad that it's synthetic cork. It's just a nice stopper. It's plastic, but it's nice. I always keep my corks because if you watched one of my latest videos, I don't see. Oh, the Pendleton, which is an amazing bottle. The cork, and I think I did throw it away finally. Disintegrated. Brand new bottle. Popped the cork, and it was already disintegrated. Loose as all get out, and was coming apart. So always save your corks. I save every synthetic cork, and I keep some corks that's actually cork if they're cool enough. But after a few years, you'll start collecting corks, and you'll just have them. Ugh, that's such a nice weeder. I don't like stuff that makes a noise. Let's turn this light on. That'll work. There's a warmth to it, of course. Like a nice caramel note with that wheat note and that cereal grain. That's lovely. A little bit of barrel char. Nothing super crazy, but for $45, it's solid. Well, you guys are not talkative tonight. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm not the most talkative person, so I need like stuff to springboard off of. Otherwise, I'm gonna pull my chair back out and we'll just sit down and watch some NCIS or something. Maybe not that. Maybe Mama's Family or something. Play some video games or something. Who all is still streaming? Whiskey Reaper, man, that dude streams, I swear, every single day. Hmm. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to tweak some settings here to get some stuff. What's up, Joe Kelly? Is that Joe Kelly? How's it going tonight? I guess I need to like zoom this out so I can see it. I should have brought my glasses in here. There we go. Now I can see it. Yes, sir. Doing well, doing well. You don't happen to be in one of the parts of the country that's about to get ice blasted, do you? Are you? Mm. So you're probably pretty safe. You're about like me. I'm here in South Mississippi, right? So you're probably about along the lines of me. And I'll take it. I don't like dealing with all that ice and heavy snow. I like seeing a little bit of snow. I just don't want to see a ton of snow. Last year, this time when that blizzard blew through and I swear, there were places out there in my yard. I've never seen anything like that down here. I mean, it was literally you'd step through. I swear I measured 17-inch depth at some places in my yard. Most places was 9 inches, but I found some that were 17. Crazy stuff. Didn't care for that other than being out of work, but you can't do anything. So you missed it. I already polished off the last bit of my first ever Blantons that I have had sitting here on my shelf for over 2 years. Rick number 11. My other one is Rick 109. I've been told the higher Rick numbers mean higher in the Rick house. I don't know if that's true. Now we're sipping on some Bardstown Origin High Wheat. I've never hunted in Metairie, but I do love coming over to Slidell. What's the city or town that is just north? If you keep, or the way I come to Slidell, I'm coming down 10, and then I hit 12, or bypass 12, and I take 10. If I keep going straight on 12, is that Covington that you'll eventually run into? I think it's Covington, which is like another 30 minutes northwest of Slidell. I really like going there to hunt. There's a Quista Paces there. There's I think there's a Total Wine there. Yeah, there's a Total Wine, a Quista Pace, and several other good liquor stores. And then, not to mention, the one thing I do love about Louisiana is there's literally a gas station could have some of the best bottles you'll ever see. Ace Hardwares. There's just hardware stores, right? It's really awesome. And over here, most of our liquor stores don't even sell that much stuff. There's a few nice ones. But highly allocated stuff we don't see. At least I don't. If I do, it's secondary, like high secondary prices. I know Whiskier. I don't know if you watch him. He is further west. I think he is Lafayette-ish area, like further to the west. I think he's somewhere in that area. Uh-oh. Lost my chat window. Yeah. That's actually where I am, is Ocean Springs. There we go. I got it back. Yeah, there's a couple nice stores here. Mabry's, which used to be Mazzano's, Jonathan Mazzano's store. I go there a lot. That's one of my main stores. Oceans, right off the highway there in Ocean Springs, is a nice new store. Fort Bayou, another kind of local spot. There's a couple really nice gems there. Of course, D'Iberville's got some nice little spots. In fact, we're coming over to Slidell tomorrow just to go eat, hang out. I'm gonna hit up Quista Paces, Rouse's, and there's like a little local. Other great thing about Louisiana is there's this knick-knack shop. I can't think of the name of it, but it's right there off Galls Boulevard in Slidell. It is like a sandwich shop, kind of a boutique store with some very random boutique stuff. There's cigars. There's all this nice eclectic stuff. And then they have like a really great bourbon, whiskey, beer selection. It's really cool. That's it. Habanos. Yeah, that's it. Love that place. First place I ever found Dragon's Milk, and I was super stoked. And now I found it at Rouse's and other places. I love a nice dark beer, especially a porter or a stout, and then put that in a bourbon barrel and age it, and take my money. I have not tried the sandwiches from that place, but every time I go there, I'm usually on my way out of town, or I'm in kind of a pseudo hurry, like I don't have time to stop and eat. But every time I walk in there, man, smell smells so good. Ah, is it? Okay. I'll have to try that. Probably won't be tomorrow because I think we're going to what's the name of that restaurant that we like a buddy of mine turned me on to Surfside Cafe. Really good spot. But I'll have to try that next time I go over there by myself, which I go every few months. I would like to, and one of the things I was trying to look up before this stream was how to play like a very low background music, just to add a little more ambiance. But I don't think that's possible when you stream straight from like your mobile device. That's what I film on a iPhone 16 Pro, and I stream like right from the app, like just go live. So I need to get some of that software like Stream Deck or not StreamYard or one of those apps, and I need to upgrade my laptop. You know, all that good stuff, all that fun stuff. All right, so let's get into another bottle. Yeah, Peerless Double Oak. So this was also one of my first Peerless, and I think the second double oak I ever had. The first double oak was like most people's. It was Woodford Double Oak. I did not like this bottle when I first got it. I didn't like it for a long time. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was oaky and just. I always thought Woodford Double Oak was just better, just in my opinion. But the longer I kept it, the more I kept going back to it. I don't know if kept opening up, or if my palate changed, or if it just got better. But I come to appreciate it more. And that is definitely a sip that will be going in the infinity glass. Because if I drink more than those, then this, this stream's going to go on for probably 8 hours with me laying on the floor. Oh, okay. So you're going to compare them. Nice. Yeah, I don't currently have a Woodford Double Oak. I finally polished off that bottle. Kind of the problem when you do collect a bunch of these bottles like this, and 95% of these bottles that I've bought are for this channel, just for reviewing or comparison sakes, or just to try bottles out to test my palate or to see what the different distilleries are supposed to kind of taste like. Um, so yeah, Woodford is definitely one. I did try the double oak. I definitely don't think it's worth that $200 for 6 more months of basically a double oak with 6 more months of aging. Yeah, I thought it was good. It's if it was $100, I would probably buy that, but I'm not paying 200. It's not that much better. Yeah, a good a good Woodford double oak pick can be phenomenal. Um, so that's where I would put my money if I was going to do it. Mm, I would say that just going off memory, I would say Peerless, at least the bourbon double oak, is oakier with a little bit of dry tanniness there on the finish. But the Woodford, I would say, is sweeter, has more of those chocolate notes, a little more, maybe a little more balance across the profile. And I would say the Peerless is a little oakier, a little more punchier. I mean, and it could just be the proof. You're talking about 116 proof, I think. Oh, 109. You're talking about 109 proof versus what's a Woodford 90, 92, something like that. So a little bit of a jump in proof for sure. And I think these do go well over 110 now. So I think they get up to the high teens, 116, 118. I really want to try the toasted ones, and especially like the toasted ryes. I hear are really good. But 130 for this same bottle in a toasted rye. 90.4. Okay, so almost a almost a 20-point jump in proof. So yeah, that's probably why. A little more full bodied, so makes sense. 20 proof points is a pretty good jump. What's strange is the Woodford barrel proof, I think, just came out, or cast strength or whatever they're calling it, and it's only 94.6 or 96 proof. The barrel entry proof on Woodford must be low. Must be 90 or 100. Ooh, that's good. Yep. I love making old fashions too with my 96. Yeah. Oh, on some picks it's that? Okay. I can see that. That's something I've never noticed is on the store picks is if it's the same proof as the standard double oak, because it's when you do a Buffalo Trace pick, you get to taste it now at cast strength, and then of course they water it down to 90 proof. So even a store pick is at 90 proof. The batch is at 90 proof. So it'd be interesting to see if the store picks are higher proof than just a standard, shelf release. I've never paid attention to that, but I'll be looking now. That's the other thing about Louisiana. Aquista Paces there in Slidell, I've seen Woodford Double Oak as low as $45, $49, which here it's now $70. What's up, Raging Cajun? Evening. How's it going? Join in on the festivities. What you sipping on tonight? We have gone through a Bardstown Origin High Wheat and my first ever Blanton's bottle. Thank God that bottle is gone now. Now we're sipping on some Peerless Double Oak. I think this is batch 16, so it's a pretty early batch. I don't know what batch they're up to now. But from what I understand, the batches that predate this one were phenomenal. But this one's pretty good. Got your first 25A stag. Yeah, I want to say the few reviews I did see people putting out on the stags this year were kind of underwhelming. From what I understand, I think the 25B was one of the standout favorites of the year, but I don't think any of them blew anybody away. So that sucks, because if you paid, slight secondary for it or secondary for it, that stings, right? Hopefully you got it for close to SRP. Ah, nice. The new 8-year Wild Turkey. Yeah. Right now, I like the way you think. You sound like me. It stung. Yeah. Um, if you just opened it and that was the neck pour, give it a few weeks, or give it a good week or two. I even sometimes on bottles like that, I had a Elijah Craig barrel proof um, A124, and whew, that thing was dry and tannic and oaky, and so I hated it at first. Didn't care for it. So eventually, it was open, so it sat out a month or so, and I just cracked the cork and just left it there for like hours, and then put the cork back on, put it on the shelf, and after that, the bottle it wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't the best Elijah Craig I ever had, but that seemed to like really calm it down. So maybe give that a shot. Let it, if that was a fresh crack, give it a few weeks and go back to it, see what you think. No, $67. Yeah, I'd buy that all day long. Even a batch I'd already had. If I find it for $67, I'm buying it. Okay, off profile. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I have only ever had three batches of Stag, 23C, 24C, I think 24D. Um, and I tend to not open them all. I finish one, then open the next one. So I don't have a great frame of reference for how all the stags should try to should taste. So it's interesting when I open a new one and does it kind of follow that same profile? Stag is so hard for me to find, like so hard. And when I do find it, you get into these situations where the store is like buy two store picks and you can get a stag for 120 bucks. Well, I don't want to buy a $60 bottle and a $50 bottle just to secondary for a pay double for a $60 bottle. I'm $250 in, $300 in just to get that one bottle. Oh, did they really? I I started to go by Mabry's on the way home after work today because I haven't been in weeks, and that's like one of my main stores I go to. Um, Dr. James, he's really cool. I talk with him every time I go in there. He's a hoot. But I haven't been to that. I haven't been back. I haven't been hunting in weeks. I've been trying to lay off buying, stuff. I've got too much as it is. I got tons of bottles I need to make content on, so I've been kind of laying off. We got a lot of trips we're trying to plan for next year and this year, so the budget is shrinking. I've only ever had two batches of Bookers, and the first one was before I started the channel. I can't even tell you what batch it was. And then the batch I currently have, which is I think a 2304 or 2401. But I think I paid 120 for it, 110. So finding it for 91 that's a good price. It's a really good price. Yep, same here. If I can find something interesting, so be it. But if not, and when I first started this channel, I kind of got into a loop of thinking I had to buy not all the bottles, but like I bought all the Benchmark line, and then I bought all the Willet line, and then I bought all the Clyde Mays line, and so that was like what I felt like you had to do when you got into this, and came to the realization real quick that you were going to go broke doing that, and no one cares. No one cares if you do a blind of or a bottle review of all the Clyde Mays bottles. Your first was a 2502. Okay. Okay. So this year's, yeah, or last year's. It's hard to believe it's 2026 already. Goes by so quick. Booker's is, Booker's I don't know. I'm indifferent. Booker's gets it's a love-hate relationship with it. You know, Booker's is very aggressive. It's uncut, unfiltered, like a lot of them are, but it's very aggressive. It can be hot at times, and then one batch can be on profile, be peanutty and just nice barrel char, and dark and rich. And then the next one is just off profile and it's just hot. But I also think I try to put myself in the shoes of a distiller and what they're trying to accomplish. Are they trying to create, you know, off profile batches? Are they trying to create one off whatever? Are they really let's just take Booker's. Are they really trying to make every batch of Booker's better than the last? Because I don't feel like that's really what they're trying to do. Because like Elijah Craig barrel proofs, if their plan was to make a batch an A125 better than a C924, they would up the age statement and up the proof to give the people what they want, right? They wouldn't be releasing a 10-year or a 9-year 6 month. They'd be releasing a 11-year 6 month, a 12-year 4 month, 125, 126 proof, 130 proof, something like that. So I have to feel like at some point these distilleries are just putting out batches, right? And just I think at some point sometimes they're just hoping for the best. I don't know. I have very very limited experience with distilleries. What's up, Chad? How's it going, man? Welcome in the house. Yeah, Beam's just cranking out the stuff. Heaven Hill's just cranking out the stuff, right? Then you got Jack Daniels over here just killing it release after release, except for the gold, the Jack Daniels gold. I'm with you. Yeah, instead of four Bookers a year, how about really, hold them back a little bit, release 2 batches. You can release the same amount of bottles. You can put the same amount of barrels into it, right? Just hold them back until they kind of like I will give Buffalo Trace credit as much as I don't want to. What was it? There was a certain year where they didn't release a George T. Stagg, and it was all because it just the barrels weren't ready. The barrels didn't meet that expectation, so they didn't release it for that year, which I think is great. Um, Although everybody, not everybody, but I think the general consensus this year, because everybody was hyped up for this year's George T. Stagg because it was hazmat, and I haven't heard a whole lot of great reviews of it. I've actually seen probably more negative than positive. And that bottle in my area, there's only 2 ways you're gonna get that bottle in my area. You have to be at the tip top of some email list, or sure enough know someone, or just have deep pockets, because the stores around me where I know I can go right now and buy one, it's $1,000. What's up, Chad? What you sipping on tonight? I know you're sipping on something good. Yeah, 1300. Yeah. And honestly, I don't even think about them anymore. One of these days maybe I'll get one. I'll pay up for it. I don't mind paying up a little bit for it. Um, but I'm not paying 4, 5, 600, right? So I'll pay up. What is that? $150 retail bottle, $200, 150, something like that. I mean, I would pay 250, maybe 3. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're in the crosshairs of it, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, we're in I don't want to call it the safe zone down here in South Mississippi, but definitely not going to be the same weather down here as up there where you're at for sure. I was telling somebody about your channel just the other day, Chad. Somebody was asking for a starter bourbon, and they were telling me the store that they were going to, which is in a little town near me called Goshen, Mississippi, and he was just asking, what's a good starter bourbon? Because he drank Gentleman Jack for years and years and years and years, and he knew I had a channel, and so he was just kind of picking my brain. And I said, well, I can tell you some, but I said, um, Chad over there at Old Fashioned Ways, not Old Fashioned Ways, a little old fashioned. I was watching Doc Martinez's stream before I got on here. Yeah. Um, and I said, go check out his channel. I said, but if you were to ask him what's a good starter bourbon, he's going to say that Evan Williams white and green label Ball and Bond. So he tried it out yesterday, and today we came into work and he was telling me about it. He said he really liked it. So he was like, man, it was so good. And it was like, $20, 15, 18 bucks, 20 bucks. I said, yeah, it's good stuff. I said, wait till you try the early times, but get the 1 liter bottle. I don't know about the smaller one. The early times in this area is still very hard to get. I actually haven't tried the Still Austin Blue Corn. I've only ever had the red corn, which has been a long time ago, and a buddy of mine at the Spillway event last year gave me a bottle of the cask strength. That's the standard cask strength because it had a weird Sharpie note that he didn't like. I mean, it had a weird note he didn't like, and when I tried it, it had a Sharpie note. So I brought it home, kept trying it, and there's days when I like it, and then there's days when I get that Sharpie note. So I don't know what's going on with that bottle or my taste buds. But I haven't tried the blue corn. I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, but I haven't tried it. Weird finish, as in like a weird funkiness or a twang or something like that. Yeah, it's a good intro, isn't it? Hey, appreciate it, man. Yeah, yeah. I felt like if I'm going to keep doing this, and I know you do a lot of hunt videos and you're kind of dabbling with the live stream and the review videos. I find that the hunt videos are harder for me to film, A, because there's not that many places in my area to hunt. And B, it's kind of awkward going into a store, getting permission to filming, and there's patrons in there and you're like trying to, you know, not bother people. And I don't know, I just feel weird about it. I enjoy the hunt videos and the hunt videos do really well on my channel. I just kind of got to a point where I just stopped doing them. So when I started doing more reviews and shorts and stuff, I said, well, I need at least a halfway decent backdrop. So I literally just bought a nice-ish shelf off Amazon, grabbed a couple barrels from Mabry's there in Ocean Springs that they were selling, and then grabbed some brackets and some 2x12s and sanded them down, stained them, threw some polyurethane on them, and threw some lights on them, and slung them up there. Funny story is, the first time I did them, I thought I was putting up enough brackets that I didn't have to worry about where the studs were, because I wanted the brackets in a very specific orientation just because I'm OCD about it. Well, that was a mistake, because 6 weeks into this setup, the bottom shelf, I came in here one day, was like this. And luckily, none of the bottles slid off. I don't know how they didn't, because some of them were, it was literally, I don't know how they didn't slide off, because the wood's fairly slick. It's not like it's rough. And so I had to take the whole thing down, had to move everything out of here. It was a big old hassle. Repaint the walls, find the studs, put all the brackets in the studs, which is what I should have done to begin with. And now it's solid. It could probably hold my big tail up there. Yeah, you might feel the same way, but you're a lot better at it than I am. Plus, you got a good voice to go with it. I get in there and I'm kind of, some people just got the voice for it, right? Hey, I know my limitations. I'm okay. I'm okay. I do still enjoy it, and I'm gonna do some hunt videos from time to time, but they just it's not going to be what I mainly do here. So, oh yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. Like I said before, when first getting into this channel, I felt like I needed to know like the bottom shelf up to some of the best stuff that you could get. So there is literally Evan Williams Black Label. So you're talking about $5, $6, $10 stuff, all the way to this is one that I just got recently in Missouri. I know a lot of people have this, or it's Kentucky only, or the surrounding area, and I guess in Missouri because that's where I got it. JTS Brown bottom shelf bottle, but to me, just as good as early times. Great stuff. So yeah, that and over here, what you can't see is all my world whiskey. So I got some Irish whiskey, I got some Scotch, I got some Canadian. So I'm kind of branching out into those fields. So trying a little bit of everything just to see what I like, what I don't like, and then that just helps me make a little more content here or there, right? I do, and it's actually one of the bottles that I'm killing off tonight. So most people would probably say Russell's 15 or Jefferson's Cask Strength, right? But if I come in here and I just want to mellow out, or if I'm cooking and I just want something good, there's only one bottle that really pops in my head, and that's usually um, I've got a case of it somewhere. What's it called? Cooper's Craft 100. Now, while that bottle is phenomenal for $35, very similar to Woodford Double Oak, kind of, this one right here is probably hands down my favorite bottle. If I find this on the shelf for under $100, I'm buying it. This is the Maker's Mark 2024 Lost Recipe release, the Mocha Archive Stave. That chocolate and caramel and coffee note that's on this, it's just chef's kiss for me. Love it. Love it so much. So I want to know what's your favorite bottle, because I've seen your shelf and you got some pretty stacked competition up there. So if you could only walk out of that place with one bottle to drink, what would it be? It's again, that's from 2024, and so Joe and Raging, this one I want to say you can't, but I'm gonna caveat that when this came out, same as this year, there is a 2025 version out right now. But when they come out, apparently they have a deal with Costco. So these are like a Costco only release when they come out. Like right now, you can get the 2025 at some Costco's. And then what'll happen is as Costco sells off whatever stock they can, it eventually, I guess, goes back to the warehouse, back to the distributor, back to the distillery. I don't know. And then I assume they broadly distribute it, because I found these at a little small liquor store in Pascagoula, Mississippi, sitting on a shelf for $72 a bottle, and had no idea that they were dropping anywhere around me. So I randomly walked into a store and seen them, bought two, went home, tried it, came back and cleared the shelf. Got two more, right? So I wasn't able to get a ton of them, which I got three backups. So that's plenty. But same with this year's. The only place I know you can buy it right now is Costco. Now, the 2024 to me is a different they're a different profile, right? Because of the staves. So the 2025 I know only has 5 staves being used on that French mocha, because that's what makes it the archive, is that stave right there, the French mocha. Because if you look at a current version of Makers, that's been replaced by a Mendant stave, which supposedly imparts the same characteristics, but to me, the mocha stave is way better. Way better. So, Chad's favorite rye. Let me make sure I haven't missed any comments. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I finally finished off my first bottle of it. Love it. Found one the other day in a store, a Coy Hill Warehouse. I think it was an 8 or a 9. 136.8 proof or something like that. Haven't cracked it yet, but I am super excited to crack that one. But yeah, that's probably one of, besides Knob Creek 12, Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, bourbon or rye for the price. It's hard to beat. Weller 107. Also hard to beat. A. Smith Bowman Cask Strength. Never had it. I see all the buzz about it. I know it was in a lot of people's top 10s this past year for 2025. I recently just got the single barrel Bowman. And I don't think it was even in my area. I think I traded for it. Somebody that travels a lot. Crittenton 7-year. Oh, I haven't tried any of his 7-year. When we went, one of my first videos was a double oak barrel pick from Crittenton's, from a bourbon group here in the area. I went with them and helped them pick, and filmed it and everything. At that time, he only had 5-year product out, and we got to try his 6-year product, which is now out on the street in quantity. And I did see that he had 7-year stuff coming out not long ago, and I can't wait to try his 8-year stuff. I'm kind of a little worried because his 4 and 5-year stuff was, it's I want to say it's kind of aggressive, right? Because it's craft, but it's very oaky. But be interesting to see what his 7 and 8, and as he continues on, seeing what he does. Yeah, I have to imagine it is. I have his 3.0 toasted pecan that I got from Spillway that I haven't cracked yet because I'm trying to get through the 2.0, but I'll crack it eventually. The Wampus Cat was really good. Yeah, I wouldn't mind buying another bottle of it, but at that, I think here it's like $70. I just got so much Crittenton's. I got some of his 2-year stuff, right? I just need to start drinking through it or giving it away or something. It's hard for me to buy more of a certain brand when I've got 4, 5, 6, 7 bottles of some of their older stock, right? I don't know. It's a middle thing. Sometimes I can't get past it. I don't have any problem buying more Jack Daniels when I got plenty of it, but explain that. I got a weird note on that right then. Almost a banana note. We're sitting here talking about Jack Daniels, and I could have swore that was a Jack Daniels barrel proof bourbon in my glass, and it's the Peerless Double Oak. I don't want to say there's banana in that, but there is like a ripe. It's the only way I can describe it. There's a light, ripe banana note. Of course, then just tons of barrel char and oak and dark caramel goodness. All right, so I'm gonna put that in the infinity bottle. All right, so we're gonna swap that out, get a new glass. Somehow I got whiskey all over my keyboard. We got 6 people watching. Man, y'all are doing awesome. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody showing up. We're just trying some bourbon and whiskey and chatting it up. Anybody got any questions or anything or something they want to see, throw it in the chat, see what we can do. So, continuing the bottle kill theme, let's get into one of my favorite bourbons of all time. The funny thing is, I was not, come on, makers. Whatever. I was not a big Makers fan when I got into doing this channel. I mean, I drank Makers growing up. I say growing up. Years passed in old fashions, and I never cared for it straight, like just drinking it straight. But it wasn't until I started this channel and then I started expanding my Maker's Mark lineup, and then, of course, discovering this. And then I love the 101 proof. I love the 46. You know, the Keepers releases and the Heart release, they're good. But this right here to me is pinnacle. Even this beats for me, even the Cellar Age, at least the Cellar Age I've had, which is only the 2024 release. So sad, sad day to see this bottle go. Bam. So I think one reason why this bottle speaks to me so much is because I love caramel, coffee, and chocolate notes on a bourbon or a whiskey. I don't know why, but when I get those notes, it could be some slight mix of molasses and leather and, you know, all that you hear. But this just speaks to my soul. God, so good. All right, let me get caught up on chat here. Which bottles are you looking for in 2026? Coincidentally, I have a list. I didn't get a Bardstown Discovery Series 13. I love it, you know. Love the Bardstown Discovery Series, and now that the 13 is a double oak, man, that's probably one of the bottles I'm seeking the hardest. There's several others. I'm trying to think offhand. I mean, I wouldn't mind a Redbreast 15 or a 21. I'm trying to continue my Redbreast journey, and then I'm gonna venture into other Irish whiskeys. But I want to round out my Redbreast collection. I have the 12, the Lestau, the PX Sherry, the Cask Strength, which is amazing. If you're looking to get into other whiskeys outside of bourbon and you want to try some Irish whiskey and Scotch, go the Irish whiskey route. It's much, it's less peaty. It's just smoother. Get the Cask Strength Redbreast. You will not be disappointed, especially if you like high proof whiskey. So good for the proof point. So I guess that just the bottles I can think of, that's the one that comes to mind is the Bardstown Discovery 13. 101 was one of your first bourbons? Wow, that's awesome. Because how long has that been out? Because according to the labeling, it's a special proof, right? It's like a limited run. I don't know how long they've been putting it out. What's up, Tracy? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I was over in Doc's stream for a while. Yeah, it's pricey. All the discos are what, $135, $140, and then some of them are, go higher than that. So it's a pricey bottle. But that's my limit for it too. I want, 140 ish, maybe 150 if I come across it, but that's it. I won't pay more than that. Two stacks. Are you talking about the? That's the like the Irish liqueur, right? Or is that something else that I'm missing? Oh, I forgot what I poured in this glass. Right now, Tracy, we're sipping on some Maker's Mark 2024, the Lost Recipe Mocha. My all-time favorite bottle. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I think I've had some two stacks, but I think it was like a liqueur, kind of like the bourbon cream. Do they make a bourbon cream too? If they do, that's what I've had. That's the only thing I've had from them. I didn't know they made other stuff. Like I said, I'm just branching into that world. All right, I'm gonna drink this. Y'all bow our heads. Hopefully, we can find more of these bottles. So good. Okay, maybe it's something else I'm thinking of then, Tracy. Irish is a great place to go. Is a great place to go if you're looking for something a little lighter. I say lighter. It's I guess it can be a little funky at times because of the pot still and the malt, but I like it. I like it. I can real. I've heard that from other people that Maker's Mark gives them headaches. Somebody told me that just the other day, um, which is interesting. I also know someone who doesn't like French stave or French oak finishes because it gives him like he breaks out almost like in hives from it. So I mean, I wonder if there's something else, something there, with the makers, whether it's the type of wheat they use. I think they use a soft red winter wheat, so it could be that. Have you ever tried any other whiskey or bourbon that had soft red winter wheat, like a Ben Holiday or any other whiskey like that? It'd be interesting to know if it's like a specific grain or if it's the distillery and something in their process. It'd be interesting to know. But I do like Irish whiskey. I think it's a great place to go if you're looking for something a little lighter. There's some nice fruit notes there. It's really really great place to go. Not to mention, there's times when I just want something low proof, like 80 proof, 85 proof. And if I'm not drinking a bourbon like a Hancock's Reserve or Evan Williams single barrel or something like that, then I'll grab the Irish whiskey or something like that because I do find it to be a little easier sipping than Scotch. My ex father in law was big into Scotch. He got me into Scotch. Like I had a Scotch collection that's about half of this amount 10, 15 years ago. Single barrel select that made him a bit wonky. Huh. He's been drinking all of the Jack Daniels. Any issues? Oh, that's strange. A single barrel select, which is just standard Jack Daniels mash bill, just proof down to 90 proof, right? And it's just a single barrel. I'm pretty sure. Like the single barrel selects. 47%, so 94 proof. Hmm. That's interesting. It could be. Yeah. Maybe it was the barrel. Maybe it was, who knows? That's interesting. 8 to 10 different bottles of Jack Daniels drinks all the time. Isn't that strange? Yeah, maybe it was the water they used to cut it with, the maple that they did the Lincoln County process with. Could have been the barrel. That's interesting. But it's weird that I've heard, I say it's weird, it's interesting that I've heard multiple people say that Maker's Mark gives them headaches. So I have some interesting bottles to get into here in just a minute. All right, so how long have we been going? 76 minutes? 9:14? I'm going to pour this up into my infinity glass because I don't want this stream to go too long, and I do want to get to these bottles. And I'm going to get a new glass for this. So I was going to open this Maker's Mark cash drink, but since I just drank basically a cash drink finished, I'm not going to worry about that. But I did want to see, has anyone ever seen this? Kansas Clean Distilled. The bottle shape is, of course, meant to mimic a huge flask. You can't really see the lettering, and I've told them they need to put like something behind it so you can see the lettering. But so we'll put it there so you can see it. You need a flask. Well, for $27 or $30, I think, you can have a glass one. Oof, that's bright. So this is 5 times column still distillation. But what's interesting is I think you watch if you go online and look at the clips like from their Instagram accounts, it's all very posh parties and things like that, right? And I think they're pushing it as some kind of, I don't really want to say they're pushing it as some kind of health type whiskey, because that's not it, but they're going for this clean, crisp, new age kind of vibe. The bottle looks cool on a shelf, right? That's lit up, which is okay. But here's what's interesting. And they show all these different, drinks you can make with it, which is, I think, is really what it's for. It's made for mixing. But it's called a spirit whiskey. And from what I understand, I'm going to hide this because that's just too bright. And from what I understand, a spirit whiskey is, it's like a vodka alternative. So it's been out for about 10, 11 years. So it's not new. It's been out for a long time. And this company, I say company, this distillery, it's not their distillate. They have a bourbon as well. But what's interesting is when you go on the website, this is like $60, $70, and then you got to pay for shipping. This is selling all around me for that around $30. Even the store owners have noticed, like, why is this selling for $30-ish in a store when it's $60 on the website, on the actual distillery website? So, but whatever. But from what I understand, to be labeled as a spirit whiskey, it has to be 85% neutral grain spirit, and then some portion, like 5 or 7%, has to be whiskey, which is standard, 51% grain, whatever, aged some amount of time, like 2 years in charred oak barrels. So, and I found it on here the other day. If you read like very closely, it says it somewhere. I thought it was here on the bottle. It's 80 proof. It's 40% by volume. Oh, I think it's here on the side. And it's so dark. Yeah, light somewhere. Ah, here it is. 93% neutral grain spirits made with spirits distilled in Kansas, and 7% whiskey. So 7% of this is whiskey. The rest is essentially like a vodka, just a highly processed spirit. But what's interesting, and this is a fresh crack. I mean, this is high quality, right? Got the screw top with the thing. God, I'm gonna put this big bottle on my shelf. I don't want to use a nice glass, but we will. Just for, since it's 80 proof, we'll stick it in a Glencairn. I mean, you can see how clear that is. When I tried it in the store, I laughed at the guy saying, "Yeah, I'm not buying that. There's no way that's good." It is just that. There is, and I remember this vividly, trying it in the store. Yeah, it's thin. But on the nose, it's like a faint, very faint vanilla, medicinal kind of, tonic-y kind of smelling, but very faint too. There's nothing overly aggressive with this nose. And there's nothing off-putting other than just some medicinalness. But there's this nice white, and I describe it as a white pepper note. If you've ever smelled white pepper and black pepper is very in your face, very aggressive, whereas white pepper's just different, right? Like on the back side, there's just this white pepper. It's the only thing I know how to describe it. But I remember the palate being surprisingly good. So let's see if I remember it now as much as I did then. What the hell? There's no medicinal taste. There is just that faint but still present vanilla that really stays with you through the front, mid palate, and the finish. And I'm still picking it up, that vanilla, like on the roof of my mouth. I can still pick up that vanilla. A very faint white pepper, but it's just thin. There's just hardly any mouthfeel. That's not oily. You're not going to get anything like that. So what I think this is for is just that. I think it's just made for mixing. Unless you just want something over ice just to sip. I could see people sipping this at a party, trying to, be conscious of put, sugary drinks, sugary mixed drinks, and sugary this, sugary that. I could see, in some posh party, somebody taking this, throwing some ice cubes over it, and just slinging it back, throwing some tonic water in it, whatever, or making some of these cocktails that they show on their site, because it is just how I remember it. There's nothing offensive. It's just vanilla. It's just vanilla. And for $30, $27.95 or whatever I paid for this bottle, I ain't mad at it. It's 80 proof. Yeah, 40%, 80 proof. But again, like what's this designed for? You don't I never even had heard of it or seen of it until it literally hit the store shelves near me, and I saw it at multiple stores. I see it all over the place now, or I did, a few months ago. But hey, that is super interesting. So hey, if you see this on the shelf and you're looking for something interesting to throw on your shelf to have a talking point or something for mixed drinks or just something different for $30 roughly, hey, it's interesting. Oh, okay. Seagram's has something similar. Makes sense. I could definitely see it as being a very, very good mixer because there's nothing in here offensive. I could definitely see it being an alternative to vodka, but with more vanilla. Um, so that's giving me some ideas for some drinks. So if you're going into a store buying a vanilla flavored vodka, why not grab one of these? Won't be exactly the same, but it also doesn't that vanilla also is not, it's not like a synthetic tasting vanilla or a fake vanilla. It tastes like vanilla extract. It's like the prominent note that I get on it. Very interesting. That's I don't think I want to interject this into that into my infinity bottle. So we'll just save that. So interesting bottle. I mean, I'm gonna do some more reviews on it, put out some videos on it, kind of see where it goes, see what maybe I can do with it. But I'm I ain't mad with that. That's awesome. Okay, 83. Speaking of Seagrams, I bought all the blackberry flavored whiskeys back during the summer and had intentions of doing a review of the blackberry, Jack Daniels and the Starlight, and Seagram actually has a blackberry, and I, I kept drinking up all the lemonade before I could shoot the video, and I kept going and getting more lemonade, and I kept drinking the lemonade. So for weeks on end, I would get lemonade, drink lemonade, and have to go get more lemonade. Stop saying lemonade. Um, so, anyways, I say all that to say I've got all the blackberry flavored whiskeys, and I need to shoot a video before summer of which one I think tastes best straight, which you would ever drink it straight, and then which one tastes better like in a cocktail. Only Seagrams I drink is the ginger ale in my Sazerac rye. Ah, interesting. That's an interesting idea. So do you take just pour some rye in your glass and throw some ginger ale in it with some ice or something like that? That sounds interesting, and I am highly surprised and glad that Sazerac came out with that foolproof version of the rye. That foolproof rye is really good, really good. God, that sounds good. Milo's lemonade. I bet it is. Yeah. Yeah, I back during the summer, I of course I had the Starlight a bunch, and I had the Crown Royal a bunch, but I never got around to the other one. Appreciate it, Chad. Appreciate you hanging in there, man. I know it's tough, but appreciate you hanging around. I do mine over ice and I pour it to taste. Put the ginger ale. Right touches. That's right, Riley. Gotcha. Sounds awesome. Yeah, it's funny. I never bought any Sazerac rye until they came out with the 100 proof and the full proof, and then I need to go get a bottle of the standard and the 100 proof, even though I know the 125 is going to blow them both away. But gotta do what you gotta do for your content, right? All right, so excuse me. This next bottle, I mean, I almost don't want to open this, but man, I have held on to this bottle for literally probably 9 months, and I'm just so aching to open it, and I think now is a good time. So this is a 2023 special release Jack Daniel twice barreled rye, 100 proof. See if y'all can see that. Oh, that was horrible. You can't see anything. Yeah, I need to get better lighting. I'm trying to keep the lighting low without blowing me out, but you also can't see the barrels. There's that light over there. I don't know if you can see that better. But anyways, so 2023 Heritage Barrel Rye, 100 proof, twice barrel. Gosh, I've been looking forward to this for ever. And of course, now I can't see how to even get the bottle open. You know when they say, I can't see back here, it's dark. It's literally dark back here. I know it don't look it on camera. I'm going to need a dadgum knife to get this open. Jack Daniels don't make it easy. For some reason, it didn't break the way it should. Well, this is great content. Just foolproof, trying to open a bottle. There we go. Please be good. You know, sometimes you hype these bottles up in your head, and all right, here we go. Oh, that was a good one. All right, we're going to pour this up and let it breathe just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, I paid too much for this, and that's why I held on to it for so long before opening it. Just happened to walk into just a random liquor store where I used to live, a little town called Escatawpa, which is north of Pascagoula and Moss Point, Mississippi, and had this sitting on the shelf, and I talked this guy down for weeks, and finally had to put together like a 2 or 3 bottle buy, and I still wound up paying like $180 for this bottle. Sucks, but he also had like a sherry finish from 2022 or something like that. But I chose this one just because I like double barrels. And Jack Daniel's ryes are phenomenal. Well, Chad, I would say I would go back and see if he's got some more because he did when I was there, but he's also not the kind to really come off prices without really making some kind of a deal. So if you're really interested, I can go see if he's got some more. So, oh, that's phenomenal. 100 proof. You know, the Jack Daniels barrel proofs, they're so good, but they can be hot. They can be spicy. Like, you know, not astringent, but like attack your nostrils, attack your tongue. They can be. They typically drink lower than their proof. This smells so good. It smells It smells so good because it smells balanced. There's a lot of flavor here, and the proof being only 100 proof, I feel like this is going to be like a really nice sipper. There's a really nice, ripe banana note on it, like you get on some Jack Daniels and some Old Foresters. Ooh, there's a really dark, not molasses, but more of a leather or dark prune note there, like a dark fruit note. There's another note there that I can't quite put my finger on. And look at the color of that. I don't know if you can tell. Again, it's not super lit up in here. All right, so enough with the nose. Let's look at the palate. It's everything you love about Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye. Dial the proof back so that it's easy sipping, but unlike a unlike a single barrel, which is like what 94 proof. Like if you had this at 100 proof, it still wouldn't be this good. This is just another level, even though it's only 100 proof. There's so much more richness and depth to the sip, even though it's only 100 proof. And that's what's blowing my mind right now is, and the legs on it are nice. Mouth feel on it is really good. Not the best I've ever had. My mouth is like salivating, even though I've had, a bunch of pours tonight. The finish lingers on and on. I wish I could place that note. It is rich and dark. It's like it's like if caramel was charred and was like Laffy Taffy thick, which caramel is kind of like Laffy Taffy. But it's just layered and it's just good. I don't think all the special releases are around that 100 proof mark, but the majority of them are, I think. I do think there are some special releases that are barrel proof, like 125, 130, in hazmat. But the majority of these, I would call these kind of like special release, experimental, or one off type stuff, or at least stuff they only release every few years. They're typically 100 proof. I'm not sure why that is. And I wonder if this was barreled at 100 proof, kind of like the Heritage Toasted Barrel. So it's possible this was proof down to 100 proof and put in the bottle, or putting the barrel at 100 proof and then putting the bottle at 100 proof, which could be why it has so much flavor for 100 proof. Yeah, I guess technically Coy Hills and Tanyard Hills, those are special releases. I would consider them more limited editions, which I mean technically this is too, but they call it a special release. So and this being a heritage barrel, which if you notice, I think that's the defining factor. Most of your heritage barrels will be 100 proof releases. Dang, I don't know. They could come in with that low proof. All of mine are over 100 proof. I know. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't going to like blow your palate away. I mean, this isn't proof wise. I mean, this is a sipper, but a sipper with a lot of depth, a lot of character. Like I could sit with this for an hour and explore it. So super stoked I got this. Of course, I overpaid for it, but I'm trying to think if there's any other release I have that's similar. It would be like taking the Heritage Toasted and you'd have to dial it up at least. So let me put it this way. If the Heritage Toasted, and I think this is roughly $70, 70 or $80 retail when it came out, which is most of Jack Daniel's special releases are in that $65 to $75 price range historically over the last 4 or 5 years. So if you had both the Heritage Barrel sitting right there and this sitting on a shelf, and you said that the Heritage Barrel is a 5 out of 10, like it's just good, it's good for the price, it's got these flavor characteristics, and then you had this, and then you had let's say you had a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof sitting there, and let's say compared to a Heritage Barrel, Jack Daniel's single barrel is an 8 or a 7.5 out of 10. I would say this is somewhere around one to 1.5 notches below a single barrel proof. This is not. I would say there are some single barrel proofs that could probably beat this, but the flavors you get off this, that nice, like a toasted almond, is kind of coming through now on the finish. The finish just keeps evolving on this, which is just amazing. Like I am highly, highly impressed with this. And this is one that I'm going to slowly sip on for probably years to come. So, because finding another one is probably going to be non existent unless you're willing to pay. Like, put it like this, the guy originally wanted $400 for this at the store. Like if I'd have walked in and said, I want just that bottle, can you give me a break? He's like, no, 400. I'm not paying 400. So I had to talk him down over a period of weeks, and then I had to buy like 3 other bottles just to get this down to a place where I was comfortable. I still think I overpaid, but I've overpaid for a lot of stuff that wasn't this good, like the Willet Purple Top 8-year wheat, right? I paid more for that bottle than this one, and I would buy this all day long over that. No questions asked. So yeah, if you've got the opportunity, I mean, you guys that are Jack Daniel's fans, you find one of these on the shelf for a price you're willing to pay, get it. Don't hesitate, just get it. It's worth it. I'll pay that price again if I find one, just to have a backup. And maybe I can get to where I can do, ship out samples and stuff like that. I'd really like to get to where I can do that, to share this stuff with y'all. All right, man. Hey, Tracy. All right, Tracy, appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, chatting, as always. So, yep. No problem. I'm about to end it anyway, so we're about to end it here in just a little bit. But appreciate you hanging out. Cheers. But All right, guys. Well, Wilco. Cheers, bud. Will Rocco. I think we chatted in the old-fashioned ways. Oh, got a couple more rolling in. Roger. Cheers, bud. Welcome to the stream. We've just been trying some different stuff here, doing some bottle killing, some different stuff. One of my favorite bottles, the Mocha Lost Recipe from Maker's Mark. We just got done trying this special release twice barrel heritage 100 proof rye from Jack Daniels. Super, super good. Have a good one, Joe. Appreciate you coming out, checking out the stream and everything. I know I've seen that name before, Raging. I know I've either talked to you before or have seen you. Um, doo, doo, doo. Oh, just cleaning through chat here. There we go. Been slipping on my water tonight. I can feel it. Oh, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Rocco. Yeah, I go. I just started doing live streams just a few weeks ago, just testing it out. So I've been trying to do them a little more and more frequently. I do it straight from the YouTube app, so I need to get a new laptop and, of course, a camera and get some software where I can, do some cool stuff like dock and the rest of them during their streams, right? Play some music in the background, just make it a little more, a little more inviting, a little more ambiance, right? A little more entertaining. Plus, have some giveaways and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of, I'm new to all this. So I'm just kind of, learning the ropes and coming through everything. So appreciate y'all showing up and, supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. So I got an infinity glass here. My gigantic, what would this be called? Is this a hurricane glass or something like that? I was talking earlier in the stream. I enjoy going to Goodwill and just finding random glasses like this, just random, different size glasses for different things, rather than just drinking out of Glencairns all the time, right? So I think what's in here is some Peerless and then the Maker's Mark, and I think a little bit of the Bardstown High Wheat Origin, if I'm not mistaken. Actually smells pretty nice. I'm no blender for sure. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. That one got me in the feels right there. Just bottle killed a 13th Colony 113 Maple. Never had that one. I hear it's pretty good. Is it super sweet? Because I haven't had a lot of good luck with maple finished bourbons and whiskeys. Typically, like the Havana was too sweet for me. I traded it away. The RD1 maples, pretty dadgum sweet. I use it in my old fashions. The Knob Creek smoked maples, too sweet. I use it in my old fashions. You don't see any 13th Colony in my area. I go to Georgia from time to time, and I'll see it on the shelf, but all I ever see is the standard bourbon. I don't see the cask strength or any of the special stuff, double oak or anything like that. I know that stuff's hard to come by anyways. Not syrupy sweet, just a hint of maple sweetness. They use maplewood spirals, not maple syrup barrels. Oh, okay. Okay. So it probably retains more of that oakiness without being too honey or syrupy sweet. That's cool. I would probably try that then. The only maple finish that I've actually enjoyed up till now is Starlight. There's a Mabry's here in town in Ocean Springs has a Starlight pick maple finish that's actually really good. Yeah, yep. They don't distribute it. At least I haven't seen that much of it in Louisiana either. It's funny how that works. They can travel 4 hours east and find it all day long. At least the standard 13th colony. My gigantic Glencairn. Yeah, I'm still super impressed with this. This is the kind of stuff Jack Daniels. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jack Daniels is killing it. They're putting out banger after banger, but my God, put this out. Put this out every year. Gosh, this is good. Like I would buy that year after year. You missed it earlier. Rocco and who else came in? Roger and maybe a couple others. We we looked at this bottle. Y'all ever seen this? I mean, I'm not gonna like. Oh, I still have some of it here. Yeah. Kansas Clean Distilled is essentially 90 something, 92, 93% neutral grain spirits with 7% whiskey in it. And from what I understand, being a spirit whiskey, it has to be X percent neutral grain spirit and X percent whiskey, right? So they use, I think, a 2 to 4 year whiskey. So 5 to 7% of this is 2 to 4 year whiskey. That's where it gets a little bit of its color from. It ain't quite clear. Yeah. This has been out. The research I did. This has been out 10, 11 years. This company only puts out this Kansas clean whiskey, and then they put out a bourbon too. But they're both sourced. I can't remember where they're sourced from. But this has on the nose. This is $30, but on the website it's like 60, 65. It's 80 proof. It's nothing but vanilla and white pepper, like a faint white pepper and a vanilla and a little medicinal on the nose. But on the palate, it's nothing but vanilla and a little bit of white pepper on the finish. No medicinality. Is that a word? Medicinality? It is tonight. Um, so looking at the website, I think what this is made for is mixing. It's like a vodka alternative. So if you're looking for something cheap, it has a little bit of a whiskey character, not really. Um, but you're looking for something that's kind of like a neutral grain spirit, like a vodka, and something with a little bit of vanilla flavor. If you can find one of these, I mean, it's just a weird bottle too. I know it's meant to be a flask, but it doesn't really fit on a shelf, and you can't see the words. The print they're printed, they're embossed, right? But you can't really see them because it's clear behind. So that was one of the things I talked to the distributor about was, hey, y'all need to put a label in front of that so you can literally read the words. But when you go to their website, you can tell that they're marketing this as some kind of a hip party, thing because they got everything lit up from the bottom, and these look great on a shelf when they're lit up. I mean, the whole fingerprints, which is horrible, but it's nice. It's clean. It's crisp. It's light. It's refreshing. It's sweet. So in a cocktail, probably would be amazing. And the website lists 5 or 10 cocktails to put it in. But yeah, it's cheap. It's like $30, which is like I said earlier in the stream. I've had conversations with the store owners like, why is this $30? But you literally go to the website, it's 60, 65, and then you got to pay for shipping. So I don't know if they're just trying to get the word back out on it again, or if distribution is picked up, or if this is just old stock. I don't know. But this has hit a whole bunch of stores around me in the last 2-3 months. It's just weird how every store around me has picked this up. But anyway, it's just interesting. It's just something different, right? Something to talk about. So it'd be a great mixer, for weird cocktails. We'll try some stuff with it maybe here on the channel and see what we can do with it. It's not something I want to sit around and sip because it is fairly sweet, but there's nothing offensive in it. There's also just no depth to it. Like this has tons of character, tons of layers, rich, it's dark, it's deep. That's just clean, and it is what it is. So it's interesting. In Kansas. It'd be funny if it has that name, but yet you can't find it in Kansas. It'd be like trying to find a Tennessee whiskey in Tennessee and you can't find it. Which Jack Daniel was that? Oh, excuse me. This is a 2023 special release, twice barrel, Tennessee rye. It's a heritage barrel rye, 100 proof. So it's essentially a double oak. It's a double barrel, twice barrel, 100 proof rye, and it is phenomenal. So the story I was telling was, I found this in a store. I'm in a little podunk store around me, and he was wanting like $400 for it, which I'm not paying that for it. Over a period of weeks, I talked him down, and he finally agreed. Like if I buy these 2 or 3 bottles, I think he gave this to me for like 150, 180 for this bottle. So I had to buy several other bottles, $30 to $50, just to get this at secondary prices. And at the time, I didn't know if it was good or not. I just knew it was a special release Jack Daniels that I didn't have because I didn't have any special Jack Daniels releases. But it turns out it is phenomenal. It is dark. It is slightly sweet. It's oaky. It has this nice. It's like having a Jack Daniels barrel proof without the proof, because it's 100 proof versus 125, 135 proof. But it still has all that character. It has all these layers of flavor, dark, rich fruit notes like prunes and dates, some nice vanillas in there, some leathers. There's a nice ripe banana on the front of the palate. Just good. It's everything that I want out of just a sure enough rye. And there's no like heavy rye mintiness or earthiness or any of that. To me, that's when this bottle came out, it's probably $70-ish. To me, that's better than any Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, only because I could sip this every day because of the proof point. Whereas every day, I don't necessarily want a barrel proof Jack Daniels. I love them. Like I love even up to the hazmats. but sometimes you just don't want that proof, right? Moving on to the Booker's Jimmy's batch. Okay, yep. Jimmy's batch 424. I'm not sure which one I have. 2302. Apprentice batch. That's the last one I have. 2302. I thought it was a 2401, but it was a 2302. Oh, you did? Yeah, the twice barrel. Yes. I was extremely apprehensive just because of what I paid for it and whether or not I would like it, but I couldn't be happier with it. Yep, I love it. It's great. If I have the opportunity, I'll probably get another one. I would probably pay roughly that price. I wouldn't want to buy 2 or 3 bottles to pay that price, but I also have cut back, probably like a lot of y'all, with buying. Like I might have bought 1 or maybe 2 bottles in all of 2026 so far. I haven't done a whole lot of hunting this year, just because I've got so much stuff in and so many bottles that I need to review and shoot content for. So why would I keep buying more and more and more of the same stuff, right? Roger, I'm in it is Roger, isn't it? Okay, yeah, Randall. I'm in South Mississippi, so about as south as you can go before you hit the Gulf. Near a small town called Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I got really lucky on mine and got it. Great deal. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully, I'll find there was another one there at that same store. It was like a sherry finish, maybe a bourbon, but it was some kind of a sherry finish, which I would like to have it too. I just the budget, right? There's only so much. Okay, Arkansas. I just recently went through there. I was on my way to Missouri. I took my parents. They used to love to go to the mountains, to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg and all that growing up. We've been there dozens of times. So this was their 50th wedding anniversary last year, and I really want to do something special for them. They're getting older, and so we decided to take them to Branson, Missouri, and which was a great trip. And I only went to like one liquor store in Missouri, and I think the only thing I bought in Missouri was this wood hat. This is their All American red, white, and blue corn. Very funky on the nose, but that funkiness does not carry over. So that's a Missouri brand. And then coming back through Arkansas, I stopped at a liquor store on the side of the road, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was a big time liquor store on the main interstate coming through Arkansas, and finally picked up a JTS Brown and a Rocktown chocolate malt, which I love that chocolate malt. I love chocolate-ish notes on bourbon and whiskey. That chocolate malt's really nice. If you like malty whiskeys, you'll like it. Yep, down here in Crittenton country, he is about 45 minutes west of me, give or take. So I'm in Ocean Springs, and he's about 45 minutes west in Kill, Mississippi. Okay, yeah, yep. Oh, yeah, that's right. Last year they did start releasing like the 10 and the 12 early in the year, maybe even the 14. So you're right. They do release early because I remember the 14 was hitting February, March, and some of the YouTubers that got a hold of it, which I still haven't got a hold of the 10, 12, or 14 from last year, were saying then in February and March that might be their bourbon of the year, which it was for some people. But that's right, they do come out early in the year. Oh yeah, that's a really cool distillery. He's got some really wacky, cool expressions out. He has a ton of SKUs. It's really cool distillery. He uses small barrels, right? They're like 32-gallon or smaller, and he uses like these the 18-wheeler compartment, what are they called, the transport cargo containers. He uses those containers to age his stuff in. Oh, nice, nice. Wait, do y'all got a channel? Rocco and Roger? Am I missing something? Do y'all have a YouTube channel or some kind of a? Oh God, yes, the Bourbon Legends. Yeah, now I know the names. Got it. Now it tracks. I knew the name. I knew the name, um, but it just didn't click. I was actually talking with Bourbon Nerd earlier. Yeah. Okay. Got it. So I'm among royalty. That's awesome. Yeah, I like watching y'all, Live from the Patio, all those guys. Really cool stuff. Well, it's weird, isn't it? Because I was in one guy's stream. We were just chatting right there. I think there was 15 or 20 people in the stream, which to me is a lot of people. And I was, my normal things like, hey, cheers all, or something like that. Cheers, everybody. And so, like, he picked up on it. He said, oh, Foolproof Hunter's here. Oh, my God, I remember you. Oh, it's Bourbon Neanderthal. He's like, oh, I remember you. You're like big time. You've got like 600 subscribers. And Bourbon, that guy Neanderthal, he had 500. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I got like 100 more subscribers than you. So I'm not exactly like a big time YouTuber, but it was just interesting that I was talking with someone that I considered to be well above where I am, and that guy was saying how much bigger I was than him. I'm like, no, no, I think you're a bigger deal than I am. I'm just hanging out. But it is interesting to hear the dynamics back and forth. Are y'all going to Spillway in April by any chance? I know some of the guys from Life in the Patio are going. Yeah, I hear you. I'm the same way. I started this not as a dare, but kind of like, kind of like some friends saying you should start a YouTube channel because I just love talking about this stuff. And I don't have like a super big community here, like people to join me and whatnot. I have some friends, but they're not really about getting on camera and doing like this. Um, so it's just kind of me figuring everything out and right and how much time do I want to put into it. So I definitely get that, right? And there's times when I look at the growth of the channel, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get monetized and all these things. And I tell myself I'm just doing this for fun. And when it becomes not fun, I'm just not going to do it anymore. And I don't know. I go back and forth on things. And then when the channel is doing good and the subscriber counts growing, one or two here every few weeks, I'm like, you kind of get the motivation to keep pushing forward. So yeah. Oh, you're not going this year? Yeah. I know Bruzel's going, but he's not doing the Infinity Barrel this year. Because some people didn't think he was going at all. And then he said on his live stream the other night that he's going, but he's not doing, I don't know if he's doing the Cathead Distillery takeover. He's going to Spillway, but he's not doing the Infinity Barrel, which I think will be a good idea just because of the hecticness that it creates right there at the front where they're trying to do the tickets to do the bourbon drop. and you got him doing the, the lines going to the bourbon drop and the lines going to him doing the infinity barrel were kind of getting blended, and everybody was getting upset that they didn't know which line they were in. It was a whole fiasco, but I enjoyed the infinity barrel too. I still have my bottle from it. Oh, in Kentucky? Yeah. We have a call on the show next Tuesday. Jump on. I'll do that Tuesday. Yeah. Heck yeah. I I'm with you there, Raging. I know I'm kind of a modest person. I don't take compliments and stuff like that too well. I could care less about criticism, um, but when someone says you're doing a good job, keep it up, I'm I'm the type that's like, oh, appreciate it, and I do really appreciate it. But I tend to be kind of modest when it comes to stuff like that, so I don't consider what I'm doing here to be that big a deal. But you're right. Like, we had, 4, 5, 6 people in here tonight that are doing their own thing. And it's just this really cool community, which is I think what I really like about it, which is interesting because it's just when you're doing this, especially like me right now, it's just me. And there's no music, there's no really anything to go off of other than just me. So I'm going off you guys and your comments, right? But I still have to come up with the main talking points. And if you know me in person, it's not me. I can be part of a conversation and I can drive a conversation, but to be the focal point we've been going for over 2 hours now, it's exhausting. I'm kind of an introvert, but I push myself past it. And to me, seeing you guys, long as you guys are hanging out and there's 6 people watching right now, it just fills me with the motivation to go. Just seeing the community and everything, and that's what I love about this whole thing. That's really what keeps me going is just the community and the support and this guy helping this guy and this person helping this channel. It's a really cool dynamic. I really like it. What's your favorite Maker's Mark? Oh, so we were discussing this earlier. My favorite, not only my favorite Maker's Mark, the 2024 Lost Recipe Mocha stave, archive stave, but also my favorite bottle of all time. If you were to ask me what's one bottle I can't live without, it would probably be this bottle. While bottles like this Jack Daniels Twice Barrel Rye are phenomenal, and the Jack Daniels 10 and 12 and 14 are good, and you got this bottle over here and this bottle over here, for some reason, this bottle speaks to me at just a different level. The amount of spice that's in this, that's subtle, the chocolate notes that are there, the coffee notes that are there that kind of turn into that mocha that we know, the little bit of vanilla, the leather, the dark fruits. This bottle just speaks to my soul. And it's just one that I love. And as soon as I tasted it and found it, I went and bought every bottle I could to back it up, just because I knew this was my bottle. I had to have this. I haven't tried the 2025 yet. I think it's still a Costco exclusive, but right now, if I had to pick one bottle, even though I got a Russell's 15 back there and some others, that's my bottle I could sit with and drink at happy hour, in an executive meeting, with friends, with family, just me. I could put that in old fashioned. If I had to have just one bottle, that would be it. I just love it. I'm assuming that you're excited about the snow, but not really. I have not tried the batch 2, the 2025 yet. I did notice the stave profile is a little different. Instead of 6 roasted French mochas, I think it's 3 or 4. And then, of course, the staves are different, right? Um, I've heard that the 2025 has a little more spice on it. Of course, that could be coming from the French Cuvée or the Maker's Mark 46 stave. So I do want one. I really want to try it. I just there's no Costco near me. You know, the Costco in Mobile has a liquor store, but they don't sell special stuff like this. Um, so what kind of happened was, I think when this was a Costco release in 2024, I don't know if they just whatever stock they don't sell goes back to the distributor, and eventually they just like broadly distribute it, because this hit just a random liquor store in my area 6, 8 months ago, just randomly hit. You know, a year after release, it just hit a liquor store. So I'm assuming they'll do the same thing with the 25. So maybe summertime of this year I'll find some. So that's what I'm hoping for. I really do want to try it. I'm telling you, Raging, it is. If you like that mocha chocolate coffee kind of notes on your bourbon, it just soothes my soul when I drink that. It's not even that I like the taste of it, which I do. It's like it just it takes all my worries away. It just like I don't know how to describe it, but just tasting it takes me back to a simpler time. I could probably write like a Country Time lemonade commercial off that bottle. Yep. 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 Cocoa. Yeah. 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 If you pick it up, let me know. Let me know what you think of it. Like, especially if you have the batch one and you can kind of compare them, it'd be really interesting to know. Um, I don't think I've seen any reviews of the batch one or batch two. Yep. I could see that. Oh, speaking of Detling, do we want to open another bottle? Y'all tell me. I've got a Detling that I've been wanting to open. It's only 59 months, but what do y'all think? Should I open it or just save it? I'm kind of hoping y'all say open it, but we'll see. God damn it, Raging. Good for an hour. We're going till 2. We're going till 2 a.m. We'll make this a 4 hour, 5 hour live stream. Is it really? Redwood Empire Lost Monarch is another good cocoa bomb. Are you kidding? The Lost Monarch isn't that the rye, or am I thinking of the Screaming Titan is the weeder. What's the Lost Monarch? Is that the bourbon or is that a rye whiskey? Foggy Burrow. Foggy Burrow. You're right. Yes, I do have that. Yeah, Foggy Burrow. That's true. Now, I will admit, a little more maltiness than I was expecting, but if you don't mind maltiness, definitely got it. Yep, it's the single malt. It's a 100% malted barley, toasted and charred number 3. This is batch 2, but this was a 94 proof single malt whiskey. So it's 100% malted barley, but I'm pretty sure it's like a couple. Let's say it's Foggy Burrows, 100% malted barley mash bill comprised of 7 different types of malt. 7 different types of malt. We began distilling in 2015, and to this day, no batch is alike. Grain to glass. Interesting. So, if I'm not mistaken, they do use a chocolate malt similar to Rocktown and Glenmorangie Signet. If you've ever had that, if you're that high dollar. But if you want a single malt chocolate, Glenmorangie Signet. But it's also super expensive, and this is not that bad. All right, so let us open. All right, we'll put this back. We'll put Foggy Burrow in the front. Nobody puts baby in the corner. All right, we're going to stand up for a bit. Bam! Maybe that won't change the angle. Too bad. No, that's not bad. My head's not cut off. It's fine. It's not high dollar production anyways. All right, so this is Detling Single Barrel Cash Strength Bourbon, 57.7%, aged 59 months. So that's what? Like 5 years and X. This is the oldest Detling I have. The only other Detling I have is their 6 grain Ball and Bond, which he don't make anymore. They have that same Maker's Mark kind of. God dang, that sticks everywhere. Sticks to everything. It's like the Frank's Red Hot of stickiness. I stick that on everything. All right. Oh my God. Well, y'all gonna see a. Okay, there we go. I was about to say. Pow. Man. All right, we're gonna grab a different Glen because I like not a Glen but a Tulip. Yeah, 59 months. This just randomly hit at some stores near me, and I ran out and just grabbed one because, excuse me, Detling just kind of dried up in my area. It was there. Then Bruzel kind of blew it up. Brandon from Brutally Honest Bourbon kind of blew it up. Several other channels kind of blew it up, and now this stuff is super hard to get. It was at Spillway. He released some really cool releases there. So we'll let this sit a little bit, get some air. Yeah, I've been digging some single malts myself, Raging. For sure. Been really getting into some Glenmorangie. I got the Tale of Ice Cream, which I thought was really good, just like a vanilla bomb. Been getting into some single malts. I bought this starter pack, to try a bunch of Glenmorangies. I was definitely looking forward to that La Santa 12 year. But got that coming up on the channel. Got a review. Haven't really dove into reviewing some of the Irish and Scotch whiskeys yet, but that's coming. So I've been really getting into the single malts myself. Open it and I will pull out my 110 proof 58-month Detling. Do it. Let's go, Roger. It's just turned into a Detling party. Rocco's got one. I have a 50-month I'm pouring. Chocolate, coffee, bomb. If that's true, this might replace my favorite bottle. Because this bottle, this 6-grain Ball and Bond, it's 100 proof, of course, but it's I wouldn't say it's traditional Detling. I would say it is on the lighter side of what you think of when you think Detling. It's craft for sure, but it's not deep, dark, rich. It's more cereal grain. That 6-grain is kind of wild, but I don't think he produces Ball and Bond anymore. Pretty sure that's done, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's true. I could literally make a channel just opening Crittenden's bottles. That wax, like, so supposedly that's your indication of where to take. And I take a knife. I just take a knife and just cut along best I can parallel to that. Why he doesn't do like Detling and at least just put a strip there, I don't know. And I've asked Matt about it, and he's just the way he does it. So I can't argue with that. Like, man knows what he's doing. Like, but it is one of probably the most, arguably one of the most aggravating points that people have with his product is just simply opening the product. Because typically you got to have a knife, or you just, supposedly you can take it and just twist it and it breaks. But I don't like it when the wax breaks and crumbles and then you got to worry about it getting into the bottle. I take a knife, and then I'll even, like this bottle, I'll probably take a knife and trim this edge, maybe or maybe not, just to make sure it's got a smooth transition. I don't know if I will or not, but sometimes I do. What's up? Live from the patios in here. Now we're big timing it. Now we've made it. We got the Bourbon Legends and Live from the Patio. We had Chad earlier from, not Old Fashioned. Doc wasn't here, but Little Old Fashioned. Yeah. Here comes tea. All right, so let's get into this Detling. This is 59-month, 57.7 proof, single barrel. Let's get into this. I sure do hope you're right. Some nice coffee notes there. Oh God. Yes. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. It just hit me all of a sudden. I could smell the coffee. And then chocolate. That's crazy. I'm not going to say that it's going to replace my Maker's Mark, because this is so stinking hard to get your hands on. But according to the nose, that's pretty dead gum good. Yeah, pour that brown top. Yeah, we need to do a collaborative. I don't know how to do that, but I know you guys do. So just let me know if y'all want to do one. I'll show up and be part of it. I probably won't say much, but I'll show up and do it. My leg is itchy. I'm not. I swear I'm not scratching my butt. So I'm going to Slidell tomorrow to do a little bit of hunting, and then we're going out to eat. But tomorrow night I might not have nothing to do. So if y'all want to do one, let me know. I'll show up. I'll make arrangements. Definitely a craftiness there. Oh, you got a 58 month? Yeah, so you're right there with me. This is 59. And I think I picked this up at the store for $100 or $109, which as soon as they said yeah, I think it was a hundred even. And considering that the last time I saw Detling on a shelf reasonable for purchase was 11 months prior, I had no problem paying $100 for this just because I knew. All right, we got to get into this. Let's try this out. It's spicy. After all these pours, whoo, even after all these pours, that just gave me a Kentucky hug all the way down. But the mouth feel on it is good to great. It's definitely above average. The finish on it lingers. Like I'm still, when I roll my tongue around trying to get rid of everything, I'm still pulling chocolate notes off one side, coffee notes off the other, barrel char. There's a nice sweetness there, but there's also proof. Man, that chocolate just keeps hitting you. Like I've talked about it, and then as I walk away, I feel like I turn around and it hits me again. It just keeps hitting you. Like the finish is pretty much gone now, but I still get those essences or esters of cocoa, chocolate, coffee, wood, oak char, dark prunes, dark fruit, raisins, something to that effect, kind of there. It's a sweetness, but it's a dark sweetness. That's so good. That's really good. I'm I couldn't be happier with that purchase. It does. It lasts forever. Yeah, I mean, you're so right, Rocco. It just even now, it's been what, a minute and a half, and I can still pick up on those, that chocolate note, and then a little bit of a bitter kind of coffee, but not like super bitter. And it's not like a bitter oak; it's like a bitter coffee. It's almost like a real coffee, but it's not like this. It's not like this Bib and Tucker Gold Coast, which is supposed to be like a coffee bean infused bourbon. This tastes like if you took bourbon and mixed coffee grounds in it and then chewed it, which not saying anything wrong with that, but that's a different experience than this. This is like refined French press coffee that's not super bitter, but you get those coffee essences and then that chocolate with it, a nice sweetness. Damn, Seth really knows what he's doing over there at Detling. It is. It really is. I hate to tout it so bad because it's so highly praised and it just makes people go even more crazy for it, but it's really good. I mean, it's what, 57%? I mean, it's not super high proof, but So the start of the front of the palate is kind of crafty. There's a funkiness there, but man, on the mid palate to finish, that funkiness kind of dies off. The burn kind of dies off, and you're just left with coffee, and then that chocolate note kind of comes in. Please. Uh-oh. What's up, James? It's getting real now. We're just trying a little Detling and trying to remember our childhood. It's amazing how it brings it back. So we've tried some crazy stuff tonight. Do you know the craziest thing we've tried tonight? Some of y'all recognize that bottle. We went through that twice tonight. Still nothing but vanilla and white pepper on that. I really want to try some mixed drinks with that. I bet you could create some pretty cool mixed drinks with that. Oh, not Daniel. So this is the infinity glass, the big ass Glencairn, which has, I think, the Bardstown's in there, a little bit of Peerless Double Oak, and some Maker's Mark 2024. This is from way earlier, from like the first hour of this stream. So I'm not a blender, but I have to say, if you could bottle this, it'd be mediocre at best. But it's not bad. It's pretty good. Daniel, I'm here. What's up? Well, we're here. We're done. That's it. Daniel's here. Yeah, Rocco, but how many live streams have you attended since 4 p.m.? It's like the fourth one. Party time. So I'm about to go through all my water. There's a boil water notice for us here where I am. I don't know about James. I don't know about you, but here south of the high school, we're under a boil water notice, so had to go out and get some water unless I want to sit and boil it. Oh, a 60 month. I really, really wanted to try that 84 month that he had. I think it was the gold wax from last year, but of course, I never got my hands on it, and don't know if I would pay the $250 for it. But I hear it's some people's sure enough bourbon of the year. Yeah, I watched some of Doc's live earlier. Oh, there was a basketball game going. I tried to watch one of the NFL games on the last stream Sunday. I think it was Bears and was it the Chargers playing? And it just kept cutting out. during the stream. Oh, we tried this earlier. I don't know if I can get the camera to focus on that. Jack Daniels 2023. Probably won't focus with me. There we go. That'll work. Twice barreled, special release 2023 Heritage Barrel 100 proof rye. I don't want to sound mean or anything or ungrateful. Jack Daniels has been killing it lately with their releases, but put out more of this. This is phenomenal. This, the Heritage, the toasted barrel is great, but this is in a different league. This is really good. And we need more of this. More Datling. Crittenden's is good. I'd be interested in the difference in their mash bills between Crittenden's and Datling. I know they're not that far apart. You know, Datling is in like Atmore, Alabama. Crittenden's is in Kill, Mississippi. So they're not. So that geographically they're in kind of the same climate, but their mash bills are different. But I know that Datling leans more into the malt. You know, his stuff is traditionally more malt, but his stuff is more coffee, chocolate, you know, whereas I feel like Detling's, Crittenden's is more oaky, more spice. Could just be me. Yeah, Rocco. That twice barrel is phenomenal. Whose malts are light years apart? Is you talking about Detling's? Yeah, I mean, I agree. Mm, it's a shame. And I did hear so for those okay, it is Detling. Okay. You're right. And so for all of you who are concerned about Detling and the fact that you know he hasn't put out a whole lot lately because he kind of overproduced or not overproduced, but he got overhyped. So he produced the hype of his product outpaced his production, right? Because he's a one man operation. He's got two rick houses. From Brutally Honest Bourbon, Brandon was there not long ago and kind of interviewed him, and he did say though for 2026 and 2027 he did have, I forget the number, but he talked about how he had X amount of barrels that were becoming of age in 2026 and X amount of barrels in 2027. It was more, it was like 2 or 3 or 4 times what was available in 2025. So hopefully in 2026 and then in 2027, we'll see more and more and more Detling on the shelf. Because honestly, I feel like 50 to 60 months is probably going to be like his baseline. You know, 100 proof or 115 proof, whatever, 50, 60 month, it should be like his baseline flavor profile. And I'd be okay with that. If I could get a 55 to 60 month, 110, 115 proof, man, for 80, 90 bucks, I'd be okay with that. See, I don't know the top colors, what the different top colors mean yet. I do know the gold means that's like his top end 84, 85, 88 month versions, but I don't know what all the colors mean yet. I haven't really sat down and looked through all that yet. But it is really cool, you know, like Raging and you know some of you guys, James and Live from the Patio and you know Rocco and all them. We're kind of like, especially me and Raging and James, we're like right in between Crittenden's and Detling, even though you know they don't produce a ton of whiskey. It's really cool to be right in the middle of these two great I don't call them micro distilleries, but these two great craft distilleries putting out relatively different products right here at home, because we got Crittenton's, you got Detling, you got Old Soul, you've got JT Mellick, you got Cajun's Cut, you've got 7-3 Distilling. I mean, all right here, which is it's just really cool to have that many good distilleries locally. See, more royalty in the chat room. We got James Mabry in the chat room. Y'all didn't even know he was among royalty. Don't feel bad for giving him a hard time. He gives me a hard time every time I walk in there. Every time. And I started to come in there today, James. I did. Like after work, my wife set a Mardi Gras ball, which is why I planned this live. And so I'm gonna run by the store and see what's available. I just didn't feel like driving across town. Not as much as you think, and not as much as I probably need. Yeah, JT Mellick is awesome. You know if you tried that as don't act hurt. Don't act hurt. Yeah, JT Mellick is a really cool distillery. That rice whiskey, if you tried it offhand, I bet you'd be hard pressed to know if that was rice whiskey and not just some kind of weird rye, bourbon or rye whiskey. It's good. I'm trying to get my water in. I'm sorry. Now I got cats and dogs screaming at me saying, "Drink your water, drink your water." I'm trying. I'm trying, Rocky. I'm trying. I'd put him on camera, but he would just get up here and knock all the bottles around, all the glasses off. Yeah, I'm excited for the next few years just to see what those guys do and what some of the other distilleries do. Old Glory up in Tennessee, hashtag new distillery on the rise. Probably one of the next big distilleries you'll start hearing about if you don't already know about them. Just leave that right there. Some of y'all in the chat recognize that bottle, but really good stuff, really solid stuff from them. Not going to say where that's from, but yeah, the Mellick cast strength is really good. Hydrate, hydrate. That's right. As you get older, you kind of have to think about the hydration more than you would like to. Ah, that Detling, that chocolate note just sticks with you. Wow. South Carolina. Oh, what's up, Chip? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, if it's not distributed yet, so Old Glory is I guess you could call them a craft distillery. They do some contract distilling. I mean, a small amount. I guess you could say. I don't really know how big their operation is. I guess you would still consider them to be a craft distillery. They're not Buffalo Trace or anything. So as their whiskey starts aging and as the word starts getting out, I think they're going to be just like Old Soul, Datling, JT, and Crittenton's. I think you'll start seeing wider distribution of their stuff. I mean, especially if certain YouTubers, you know, put some content out about their products. It's good stuff. Yeah, the Old Glory stuff. I think this is because they have currently this is the Tennessee whiskey. They have a Tennessee whiskey and I think a bourbon. Um, and then of course within those SKUs they have single barrels. They have cash drinks and a ball and bond in each one. Of course, they put out some. I think they put out a gin and a vodka and some other neutral grain spirits. But as far as whiskeys go, I think they just have the Tennessee whiskey and the bourbon for right now. I could be wrong, but really solid stuff, especially for a relatively no name distillery. Oh, nice, Randall. Yeah. Yeah. And so, I know a guy that has been to the distillery, and apparently of course, looking at the website, they've got a great restaurant there, and there's a hotel nearby, of course some other hotels, but apparently it's a nice little kind of destination, the way they're setting everything up, to hang out, enjoy the distillery, the tours, see how the operation works and everything. And the guys that work there are fantastic. They're just very passionate about what they do, just like all small, startup distilleries kind of are. So, be interesting to see what they do with what they're doing, because what they're doing so far is pretty jam up. So, yeah, they're great to hang out with. Yeah, they're really working hard to promote their brand. Yeah, they're doing really good. I know they're kind of flying a little under the radar at the moment, but it's just a matter of time before they blow up, and they're just another, not say just another Detling, but they basically their clout outpaces their production, right? But they're doing everything the right way, so, or at least trying to. Yeah, I've heard the restaurant's really good. Oh, they got a weeded. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Is that new to their SKU profile? Is it their whiskey? They're not sourcing it. That would be interesting. We'll raise this just a little bit. And it's not because I'm drinking too much. I need to lean. I just want to lean. Favorite bourbon other than Lost Recipe. So outside of these that I've just had, ooh, that's a tough one. Favorite bourbon. Hmm. Favorite bourbon. Jeez. I shouldn't have to think this hard this late in the day. But you made me really oh. So I have one. I have two. And they're bottles that I discovered last year due to some other channels, Whiskier and Joe Unfiltered. Um, I'm just making sure before I grab them that's the ones I want to go with. But if I had to go with, I'm gonna go with two, because one's a cask strength and one's just good on its own. But the Jefferson's cask strength 130 proof, just their limited edition bourbon. And then most recently, the Jefferson's Twin Oak. Now, this is about $80 to $100 retail, and this is about $70 retail. 130 proof. I think, from what I understand, this is about 1,000 barrel batch. This is 130 proof. I think about an 8-year product. I'm not sure about the age of this one. I'm not sure about the batch size of this one, but this right here to me is like a Stag Junior alternative ish. So if I had to pick another bourbon that I really enjoy, I think it would be Stag Junior. But this one is readily available, especially in like Louisiana and some parts of Mississippi, but mostly like Georgia, Louisiana, and northern Mississippi. I can find this. This one is more available a little bit, kind of. There's a few stores I know that have this. This cash strength is just amazing. It to me, it's like a I wouldn't say it's on par with a great Stag Junior pick or Stag Junior batch, but it's on par with a decent Stag Junior batch, like a what is this, a 20, this is a 23C. I would say, I think someone earlier was saying they had a 25B or a 25A. I would say this would be on par with a 25A. Some of the same flavor notes, good amount of proof, whatever. But this Twin Oak to me is like dessert in a glass. Great toasted marshmallow notes. There's some spice there, but considering it's only like 90.2 proof, 90.2 proof. Yeah. It's not going to burn you up like the cash drink. So this is just an easier sipper. Great sweet flavor notes, whereas this is more, rich, compact flavor notes. Cash drink, 130 proof, but it drinks 130 proof, right? There is no, oh, this drink's 110. No, this drink's 130 at least. So you feel every bit of that 130 proof. But if you were to ask me what's my favorite bourbon, just standard release, I would probably say Stag Junior, which is just, cash drink Buffalo Trace. But super hard to get in my area. So I would say probably between these two. So I know that's a long-winded answer, but all right, let's get caught up on chat. Ooh, I'm way behind. Next time to go find a bottle. Headed to Lawrenceburg. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice, Chip. Maybe you can find one out there. Hopefully. Rocco just opened bottle last night for sales. It is an old toy product. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, Laughing Patio, that 130 proof shocked. I know a lot of people this year because Jefferson's has kind of been kind of meh for a lot of people, which it has. The Oceans and some, just their standard bourbon, but that cash drink just came out of nowhere. And then I was introduced to that Twin Oak, and that Twin Oak is pretty dead gum solid. It's to the point where I know where I can go get another bottle for about $100, so I'm kind of on the fence about going and picking up another one. Yeah, one of my top 25 for the cash strength. I mean, it's just good now. It's hot. It drinks that 130, but I believe it. I believe I don't believe that the cash strength Jeffersons can beat a Stag every time, because Stag should be able to beat it because of just what it is. But I do believe that cash strength Jeffersons would beat some Stags for sure. because not all stags are on profile, right? Wow, $52. That's a steal. I'd love to find that twin oak for cheaper. I'd love to find it for 70, $80. I don't know if it's available for that price. But the cash strength I'd buy for 52 too. I'd never tried any Jeffersons either, Rocco, until the cat. Well, I mean, I tried the oceans, and those batches were kind of hit or miss. They were okay. Some of them were salty. I don't know if it's in your head or not because of the marketing, but um, their standard bourbon is just okay. It's just bourbon flavored bourbon, right? It's just good bourbon. But how many bottles of that's on the market, right? Just good bourbon. But that cask strength just came out of nowhere and just rocked everybody. And then that twin oak is just good too. So that's the only two I would recommend from Jefferson's line. So if you want something high proof, go with the cask strength. If you want something easy sipping and some great sweet flavors, go with the twin oak. Of course, the twin oak costs more than the cask strength, so or the 130 proof. I'm with you there, Chip. I was the same way. I've tried a bunch of the oceans. I've tried a bunch of uh, uh, the rum cast finish, and I've tried a bunch of the finished stuff, and it's all okay to it's all good to okay-ish, which to me is if I'm spending $30, fine. If I'm spending 70, no. If I'm spending 70, I don't want something okay. I want something good, and I feel like the cash strength for 70 is good. And then I wish the Twin Oak was cheaper, but I would still pay that 100 for it personally. Really, $48. That's a steal. That's a that's a steal. At that price, I would take my empty balls of stag and pour Jefferson's cash strength in it. None of my friends would know. Don't get me wrong, there's not as much cherry on the cash drink Jefferson's, but everything else is there. Great oak flavors, great. Oh, what's up, Uncle Tim? What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Y'all hit that like y'all hit that like button, man. That helps the stream out a lot. I hate asking for stuff like that, so the little things like that kind of help get it out there. But if you don't mind, if you take a second to smash that like button, helps the algorithm find new faces, whatever. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to April. By the way, to Spillway. Now I feel like the desk is too tall. I've been standing for a while. Man, we have went through some bottles tonight. We have killed just Tim. You just getting here. We some Bardstown Origin wheat. My first bottle of Blanton's we killed off. Like these were like I mean they had hardly any in them. A Peerless Double Oak, and then one of my favorite bottles of all time, a Maker's Mark 2024 Mocha Stave Archive Stave. Then we tried some weird stuff. We tried some Kansas Clean whiskey, which if you're looking for something clean for mixers and just I don't know, just something different for $30 ish, 27, whatever this costs. Neutral grain spirit with a little bit of whiskey in it, not bad. Mostly sweetness with a little bit of white pepper. But this Detling 59 month and this Jack Daniels Twice Barrel Rye 100 proof from 2023, Chef's kiss. Yeah, that incidentally, this is the bottle of Bardstown Weeded that I got at Spillway last year. Was this very bottle? It was. Everybody else was getting crazy bottles and even like Old St. Nick's and stuff like that. That's what I walked away at Spillway with. 2 bottles of that. And this is my infinity glass. This is my gigantic ass Glencairn. This is my infinity bottle. Yeah, I mean, for a weeder, it's really good. It's got like a cereal grain note, but other than that, it's pretty solid. Which I think it's just solid in general. For $45, a weeder with it's just for that proof point, it's really good. I don't know if it would beat Weller 107 in a blind for me, but it'd give it a good run for its money. Is it really? Rocco, where are you at? Are you in Tennessee too? Because I'm going to say something here that may pee off a few people. I literally, before this stream, had my fan going because it was warm in here and had to go turn the AC on a couple of degrees, like literally to bring the temperature in the house down to about 72. Okay, that's right. You mentioned that earlier. We were talking about Arkansas. Okay. Yeah, I literally had to turn the air on because I didn't want the overhead fan going during the stream. Everybody's like, "Screw you, man! It's freaking cold up here." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I turned the air on tonight." It's 27 below zero wind chill here. Oh my God. That's right. You're way up there, Tim. I feel for you, buddy. Like, I don't have to worry about my pipes freezing until Sunday night. Like, I literally have to go out tomorrow to get my little styrofoam things to put on my exterior house faucets Sunday before dark, right? Because it's not supposed to get below freezing until Monday, which, yeah, I hope not, Raging. I hope, yeah, yeah, that's pretty cold, Rocco. Rocco said, "Damn." Yeah, I think this one is. I don't know if this is going to be as bad as last year's little winter blast that came through roughly about this same time period. I know down here, like where I live, there it was 10 to 15 inches of snow. Like literally put a tape measure through the snow to hit ground, and it was somewhere between 9 and 17 inches throughout my yard, which never happens here. And when I say I live on the coast, I live literally minutes away from the Gulf. So, oh, the next pour, man. Something I haven't opened yet that I'm very interested in. And why not? There's people here watching. Let's go. So, something that I got that I've heard is really good is this 250th anniversary Green River Bourbon. So this is 55.55% to 111.1 proof. I've heard that everybody that's tried this says it's really good. What do y'all think? This one? And we'll give y'all an option. This is my first bottle of both of these. So I got a Michter's Barrel Strength Rye and the 250th Green River U.S. Army Edition. So like a $45-ish bottle, maybe 50, and 100 and what's the retail on this? 100. I think I paid 100 and I don't know, 110, 115, 120 for this. The Army. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is the more interesting bottle. You don't have the Michter's. Have not opened my yet. Yep. Green River. All right, we're gonna go with Green River, just because that's actually the one I'm interested in too. Yep, Green River. Let's go. All right. Maybe I'll have better luck with this than I did the Jack Daniels. It took me forever to open that Jack Daniels. Close enough. I like to normally take a knife to these, but I'll use my fingernail. I don't like a jagged. All right, here we go. Plop. We get a new glass, just because. Why not? Is that synthetic or is that real? That's real. It's real cork. Ooh. All right, we'll give that a little bit of airtime. All right, so everybody still drinking the same thing? Anybody trying anything new? Come on, Raging. I know you're drinking something different. Everybody still drinking Detling? Yeah. So Uncle Tim, the only Green River that I haven't truly enjoyed is just their standard wheater. Their standard just wheat whiskey. Yeah, this one. That's the only thing I haven't like truly enjoyed. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's just there's a I don't know a funkiness or just some note that just doesn't sit with me. But also for the price, I'm not going to be upset with it because it's what $30, $28 for that bottle. But I'm a Weeder fan too, and I think that really just speaks to and it could just be I haven't had it in a while. I wouldn't mind trying again just to see. But that's the way whiskey goes, right? Like our palates might align on certain things, but then on other things they I don't know something's just weird that other person doesn't like. I was having a conversation earlier. I forget who it was. Maker's Mark gives them a headache, right? It doesn't give me a headache. So people are just different. Yep, nothing wrong with it. Just again, I could go taste that right now and probably be like, oh, that's not bad. In fact, you know what? While that's breathing, an interesting little experiment because it's been a while since I went back to this. I can kind of smell it. Weeder for sure. Nothing offensive on the nose. Just wheat grain, corn, vanilla, light oak. See, now I'm not really picking up on anything that's offensive. I mean, that's tastes like decent weeded bourbon. So there you go. I mean, it what is that, 90 proof? Yeah, 90 proof. So there you go. Today it tastes fine to me, which is, I think that's kind of the way it goes. There are days when I come in here to shoot a video, um, and before I shoot a video, I usually grab a bourbon or a whiskey that I know exactly how it should taste. And if I try that and it doesn't have those notes that I know it should have, I know that my palate's not there. Either it's something going on in my life, or it's just that day, or I've ate something that's kind of messed me up. I just won't do a review that day if my palate feels off. So, but this is fine. And that's why I don't like to make bold statements about, yeah, I hate Green River weeded, because that's not the case. There's just the times I've had it, I didn't care for it. But this time, it was pleasant. It was nice. Yeah, nice weeded, flavor on the nose. That's fine. Nice little weeded kind of funk on the finish. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially for the price, 30, 35 bucks. That's fine. All right. I think I'm way behind on chat. Let's go Green River. Green River is good. Port of Green River. Go Army. Yeah, so I hesitated buying this, even though I knew the reviews of it were like, get it, because it's so good. So I finally broke down and bought it. Especially, I think it was $47 here. What a sweet nose. Oh, that's a good pour. Different palettes. Yep. Oh, okay. I'm not as far behind as I thought I was. I like the Weedy Green River. Is my favorite. True. Yeah, it's not my favorite, but also don't hate it. Right. So it'd be interesting to put that Green River weeded against, like, say, 1792 Sweet Wheat, which I just got not long ago, because I feel like I like that. It'd be interesting to put them like in a blind and see which one I actually like. Be interesting. It's always amazing how different days your palate changes. Exactly. And not only that, especially you brought up the Jack Daniel's Heritage. There are days when I pour that whiskey and I get like this astringent, not a black Sharpie note on it, but just this astringent, just pow note that just kind of hits me. And I'm thinking, what is that? And then there's other days where I don't get that note. And it really, days like that really make me question my palate and my processes and what I think I know, and just everything. But all right, so let's dive into this Green River. 250th Army anniversary. Supposedly, this has some pretty good barrels in it from Green River. Apparently, this is just not just a release where they just took some barrels, threw them together, and made a release. Apparently, this is some pretty hand selected barrels because, from what I understand, this is pretty well received by most of the community. So let's see what we can get. Oh yeah. So I want to say like a traditional Green River nose profile, right? But it's almost like a grain nose, like say on the Origin Weeder, there's a cereal grain note. There's that on this, except it's more refined. It's almost like it's more mature. Nice caramel notes, of course, the vanilla in there. There's some nice barrel char. There's some age with this. I would say this is, if I had to take a wild guess, I would. It's a 90. It's a 90 proof, isn't it? Oh, 111 proof. So it's proofier than I thought. I would say these barrels are probably somewhere between 8 to 10 years old. I wouldn't say that they're. Maybe I would say 6 to 9 years old. I wouldn't say 10, 12, 13-year old barrels, but there's some age here. Mm. Woo. So just like the Detling, even after all these pours, I still got a good Kentucky hug off that. A nice burn all the way down. But that's solid. There is some nice barrel char characteristics to it. The mouth feel is not bad for $45. The mouth feel is good. There's enough viscosity there, enough oiliness to hold my attention across the mid palate to finish. The finish is pretty solid. It's not like super complex, but I don't want to like say like if you were to ask me early times has a couple big notes, right? Like caramel and whatever, but it's not overly complex. Where when I say this is not complex, I guess what I'm saying is that there's some notes there, but those notes stay. And so on the front palate to the mid palate, and then across the finish, those notes just hang and then they just dissipate slowly. I know that's kind of a weird way to describe it, but I guess what I'm saying is this is fairly full bodied, fairly great mouthfeel. I think that's solid for that 45-ish, $50 price point. Quintessential great bourbon nose. I mean, actually elevated above quintessential. If quintessential is like a 5 out of 10, I would say this is somewhere around like a 6.5 on the nose, and the nose is really good. Maybe even like a 7, 7.5. If I had to think about it, yeah, more like a ooh, yeah, more like a the nose is more like a 7.5 out of 10. It's not super dark and rich like the Detling is on the backside, but it's more fun and crisp like the that. But don't get me wrong, this is not the same thing. I'm just trying to correlate how it feels. But there's some depth there. That's nice. Wow. Oh, I would say it drinks at 111 proof because I feel every time I take a sip, I feel it. Yeah, I agree, Rocco and Raging. That I mean, oh, lost my chat screen. There we go. All right. Yeah, I agree, Raging. It's well rounded, great nose, great palate. I'm finding it hard to find the words and stuff to describe it. I probably need more more time and nuance with it. But I'm tell you right now, if I had a choice between this and the foolproof, because they're both about the same price, I'd go with this. I mean, the foolproof is great, but this feels like more balance and more complexity, a little more tightly packed, is what I'm getting from this. This is just really good. Really, really solid. Oh man, Randall, I am so jealous. A 13, that that that's one I can't find. I hope you enjoy that one. Because that's one I can't get right now. Oh, I don't want to put that there. That looks weird. You have the 12 patio, or is the 11 the last one that you have, or the last bottle of that series that you have? Really? You prefer the 11, 12, or the 8 over the 13? Disco 1? Yeah, I never had that. I never had anything prior to Disco 9, I think. They, I've seen 8 on the shelf. I'm just not willing to pay 150, $160 for it. I wouldn't mind it just because I feel like it would help complete my vertical, but at some point, you know, um, my desire to complete a bottle set is overtaken by the cost. It's at least my rationale. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, y'all post your links in there because I'm probably about to wrap this up. Oh my God, we've been going for 3 hours. This is going to be a 3 hour and something long stream. I was going to do this for 1 hour, but y'all have been great. Everybody's showing up. This has been awesome. Just hanging out with everybody, talking with everybody. Y'all let me know. I'm probably going to end it here in just a little bit. Because I need to get in the bed here before long. Got a long day tomorrow. Definitely willing. If y'all gonna do something tomorrow, Life in the Patio or Rocco or Raging, any of y'all gonna get together tomorrow? Want to do a collab or something? Just let me know. I'd be willing to jump in there for a little bit, hang out. We might have a headache in the morning. Drink that water. Get those Z-biotics in, which, if you're watching Z-biotics, I need a sponsorship. We all need a sponsorship. All right, guys. All right, appreciate it, James. Appreciate you coming hanging out. Hey guys, appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming and hanging out. I think we're going to end the stream here. Look, there's going to be some guys in the Discord for the Bourbon Legends hanging out after this. If y'all are interested in hanging out afterwards, check out the links in the chat there. Go hang out with everybody. I'm gonna go call it a night, and we'll see y'all on the next stream. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for hanging out. It's been great. It's been fun trying all these out, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Till the next one. Cheers, y'all. Woo!